There's a plant sitting in millions of homes right now that most people think is just decoration. But what they don't know is that this plant is actually one of the most powerful wealth magnets in the entire botanical kingdom, and the ancient practitioners of feng shui and energy work have been using it for thousands of years to draw money, opportunity, and abundance into spaces with such precision that it's almost frightening how well it works. And here's what's going to blow your mind. It's not just about having the plant, it's about where you place it. Because if you put this snake plant, this sword-like guardian of prosperity, in the wrong location, you might as well have a plastic decoration because you're getting zero energetic benefit. But if you place it in the exact right spot, which I'm going to reveal to you in this transmission, and you do it with the right intention, you're essentially installing an antenna in your home that broadcasts a frequency of wealth 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pulling financial opportunities toward you like a magnet pulls metal. And the wildest part? This works whether you believe in it or not, because we're not talking about superstition here. We're talking about energy flow, about how living things interact with the quantum field, about how your environment literally shapes your financial reality in ways that Western science is only just beginning to understand. But here's the second thing you need to know before we go any deeper. And this is where it gets a little uncomfortable for some people. Your home right now might actually be repelling wealth without you even knowing it. Think about that for a second. You could be working hard, doing affirmations, visualizing abundance, trying all the manifestation techniques. But if your physical environment is energetically configured to block money instead of attract it, you're trying to fill a bathtub with the drain open. And the snake plant, when placed correctly, doesn't just attract wealth, it also neutralizes the energy blocks that have been keeping you stuck financially. It purifies the stagnant energy that accumulates in corners and dark spaces. It transforms the electromagnetic pollution from all your devices into clean, vital life force. It stands like a guardian at the gateway between your current reality and your abundant future. But only if you know where to put it. Only if you understand the specific location that activates its full power. And most people get this wrong. They put it by a window because it looks nice. They put it in the living room because that's where guests see it. They put it wherever there's empty space. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Why the bills keep coming. Why the raises never materialize. Why abundance always seems to be just out of reach. And here's the third thing. The thing that should make you sit up and pay attention right now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly where to place your snake plant. And if you do it tonight, if you take action on this information before you go to sleep, you could start seeing evidence of financial shift within 72 hours. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen it happen too many times. Small shifts at first, an unexpected refund, a forgotten $20 bill in an old jacket, a client who suddenly pays an overdue invoice, a friend who repays a loan you'd written off. These aren't coincidences. These are the universe's way of saying, I see you. You've made a shift. Here's your confirmation. More is coming. But you have to act. You can't just watch this video and think about doing it someday. The energy of procrastination is the energy of poverty. The energy of immediate action is the energy of wealth. So this video isn't background noise while you scroll through your phone. This is an auditory transmission that requires your full attention because every word I'm speaking is calibrated to shift something in your consciousness, to prepare you to receive the abundance that's about to flow into your life. So put down whatever else you're doing. Close the other tabs. Take a breath. And let's dive into this together, because your financial breakthrough is waiting on the other side of this information. Now, before I tell you the exact location where your snake plant needs to go, we need to talk about why this plant specifically has such powerful wealth-attracting properties. Because if you understand the why, the how becomes so much more potent. The snake plant, also called Sansevieria, or mother-in-law's tongue, is one of the few plants that produces oxygen at night instead of during the day. Most plants take in carbon dioxide during daylight and release oxygen, but the snake plant does the opposite. It releases oxygen while you sleep. And this is crucial for manifestation because nighttime is when your subconscious mind is most active, when you're most receptive to energetic programming, when the veil between the physical and spiritual realm is thinnest. So when you have a snake plant in the right location, it's literally oxygenating your manifestation process. It's feeding your subconscious with fresh, clean, vibrant life force while you dream, while you process your day, while your deeper mind is wide open to receiving new frequencies. That's the first layer of why this works. But there's more, and this is where it gets really fascinating. The snake plant has these sharp upward pointing leaves that look like swords or spears reaching toward the sky. In energy work, this upward movement represents aspiration, growth, expansion, and connection to higher realm. The plant is literally pulling energy up from the earth through its roots and shooting it upward toward the heavens. And when you place it in the correct location in your home, it creates an energetic pathway, a channel through which abundance can flow from the invisible realm of pure potential into your tangible physical reality. It's like installing a lightning rod for prosperity. The wealth that's floating around in the quantum field, looking for somewhere to land, gets attracted to this upward shooting energy and follows it right into your space, right into your life, right into your bank account. And here's something else that most people don't know about snake plants. They're incredibly resilient. You can neglect them for weeks and they survive. You can forget to water them and they thrive. You can put them in low light and they adapt. This resilience carries a frequency of strength, of endurance, of the ability to prosper under any conditions. And when you bring that frequency into your home, it starts to reprogram your own energy field to match that resilience. You start to embody the snake plant's characteristics. You become harder to knock down. You become more adaptable to changing circumstances. You become someone who thrives, regardless of external conditions. And that energetic signature is magnetic to money, because money flows toward stability, toward strength, toward people who can be trusted to handle it well. Now, in Feng Shui, which is the ancient Chinese practice of arranging your environment to optimize energy flow, the snake plant is considered a protective guardian and a wealth attractor. It's said to ward off negative energy and bad luck, while simultaneously inviting prosperity and success. But here's the key that most Feng Shui practitioners won't tell you, unless you're a serious student. The specific location of the plant determines whether it's working as a protector or an attractor, or both. Put it in one location, and it guards your wealth, preventing money from leaving your home. Put it in another location, and it attracts new wealth, pulling money toward you. Put it in the exact right location, the one I'm about to reveal, and it does both simultaneously. It becomes a wealth amplifier that not only brings money in but also helps you keep it, grow it, multiply it. But wait, because before I tell you the exact spot, I need you to understand something crucial about your home's energy grid. Stay with me here because this is going to change the way you think about your living space forever. Your home isn't just a physical structure made of walls and floors and ceilings. It's an energetic container that holds and amplifies whatever frequency is dominant inside it. If your home is full of clutter, the energy is stagnant and chaotic, and that's what your life becomes. If your home is full of broken things, the energy is fractured and incomplete, and that's what manifests in your reality. If your home is dark and closed off, the energy is depressed and contracted, and that's what you experience financially. But if your home is clean, organized, well lit, and strategically enhanced with living plants in the right locations, the energy flows freely, abundantly, joyfully, and that flow creates a container for prosperity to flourish. Every home has what's called a wealth corner, according to Feng Shui principles, and this is the area that corresponds to your financial abundance. But here's where people get confused and why so many people place their plants in the wrong spot. They read somewhere that the wealth corner is in the far left corner of your home when you're standing at the front door, looking in. And technically that's true. That's the traditional wealth corner. But that's not necessarily where your snake plant should go. Because the snake plant doesn't just work with feng shui principles, it works with actual energy flow, with the way qi moves through space, with the specific energetic signature of your individual home. And in most homes, especially modern Western homes that weren't designed with energy flow in mind, the most powerful location for a wealth-attracting snake plant is actually in your bedroom. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You've heard that you shouldn't have too many plants in your bedroom because they release carbon dioxide at night. But remember what I said earlier. The snake plant is different. It releases oxygen at night, so not only is it safe in your bedroom, it's beneficial. It's actually improving your sleep quality while simultaneously activating your wealth frequency. And here's why the bedroom is so powerful for wealth manifestation. You spend roughly a third of your life in that room. You're in your most vulnerable, receptive state there. Your conscious defenses are down. Your subconscious mind is running the show. And if you have a wealth-attracting plant in that space, broadcasting prosperity frequency for 8 hours every single night while you sleep, it's like having a personal abundance coach whispering affirmations directly into your subconscious mind while you rest. But it's not just anywhere in the bedroom. This is where precision matters. Are you ready for this? Because this is the information that's going to change everything. The exact location where you need to place your snake plant for maximum wealth attraction is in the far left corner of your bedroom when you're standing at the bedroom door looking into the room. That specific corner is the wealth corner of your personal sleep sanctuary, and when you activate it with a living snake plant, you're essentially programming your subconscious mind for prosperity every single night. You're falling asleep looking at a symbol of resilience and growth. You're breathing in oxygen produced by a wealth magnet. You're surrounded by the upward-reaching energy of abundance. And night after night, week after week, month after month, that energy imprints itself on your subconscious until prosperity becomes your default setting. Now, drop a comment below and tell me, do you currently have any plants in your bedroom? And if so, what kind? Because I'm curious how many of you have been intuitively drawn to this practice without even knowing the spiritual science behind it. And if you don't have any plants in your bedroom, tell me what's been stopping you. Is it that you thought they were bad for sleep? Is it that you don't have a green thumb? Is it that you just never thought about it? Let me know in the comments, because understanding where you're starting from helps me create content that meets you exactly where you are. Let me tell you about Rachel from Portland, Oregon, because her story is going to make this so much more real for you. Rachel was a freelance graphic designer, talented but struggling. She could barely cover her rent most months. She was stressed, exhausted, and starting to lose hope that things would ever change. One day, she was at a local plant shop just browsing, trying to cheer herself up without spending money she didn't have, and she felt drawn to a snake plant. She didn't know why. She didn't know anything about feng shui or energy work or manifestation. She just liked how it looked, strong, resilient, alive. She bought it for $15, which felt like a lot given her financial situation, but something told her it was important. She brought it home and, having no other place to put it, set it in the corner of her bedroom, the far left corner when you walk in the door, purely by accident. That night, she slept better than she had in months. She had vivid dreams about abundance, about success, about clients lining up to work with her. The next morning, she woke up feeling different, more energized, more confident, more certain that things were going to work out. And then, that same day, she got an email from a company she'd submitted a proposal to 3 weeks earlier and had assumed had gone with someone else. They wanted to hire her. The project was worth $5,000, more money than she'd ever made from a single client. But it didn't stop there. Over the next 2 weeks, 3 more clients reached out, people she'd worked with years ago, who suddenly needed her skills again, a friend who referred her to their company, an Instagram message from someone who'd been following her work. Within a month of placing that snake plant in her bedroom corner, Rachel's income had tripled. She went from barely surviving to thriving. And she attributes it all to that $15 plant in the corner of her room, standing there like a silent guardian, broadcasting wealth frequency into her consciousness every single night. Now, Some of you might be thinking that's just coincidence, that Rachel's success had nothing to do with the plant. And maybe you're right. Maybe it was just timing. Or maybe, just maybe, the plant created an energetic shift that allowed Rachel to show up differently, to feel more confident, to take actions she wouldn't have taken otherwise, to be in the right state of mind to receive opportunities when they appeared. Because here's what I've learned after years of studying this. Manifestation isn't magic in the sense that things appear out of thin air. Manifestation is the process of aligning your energy so perfectly with your desires that you become a match for them, and then the universe rearranges circumstances to bring you together. The snake plant doesn't create money. It creates the energetic conditions under which money flows to you naturally. And if this is making sense to you, if you're starting to see how simple shifts in your environment can create profound shifts in your reality, then hit that like button right now. Because when you do that, you're not just engaging with this video, you're sending a signal to yourself and to the universe that you're ready, you're committed, you're willing to take action on this information. And that commitment, that willingness, it's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. So go ahead, like this video, and let's keep going, because what I'm about to share next is going to take this to an even deeper level. But before we talk about the specific ritual for placing your snake plant to maximize its wealth-attracting power, I need to address something that might be blocking your results before you even start, and that's the energy of skepticism. Now, I'm not saying you should believe everything you hear without question. Healthy discernment is important. But there's a difference between healthy skepticism and closed-minded resistance. Healthy skepticism says, I'm not sure if this will work, but I'm willing to try it and see what happens. Closed-minded resistance says, this is stupid. Plants don't affect money. This is all woo-woo nonsense. And here's the thing. If you approach this practice with that second energy, you're right. It won't work for you. Not because the practice doesn't work, but because your energy of resistance creates a barrier that blocks the flow. It's like trying to download a file while simultaneously telling your computer to reject all incoming data. The information is there, the opportunity is there, but you've created a force field around yourself that keeps it out. So if you're feeling skeptical right now, I invite you to try what I call the experiment mindset. Tell yourself, I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to treat it like a scientific experiment. I'm going to follow the instructions exactly, observe what happens, and draw conclusions based on evidence rather than assumptions. That mindset keeps you open while still honoring your rational mind. And that openness, that willingness to experiment, that's all the universe needs to start showing you evidence. Because once you see a little bit of evidence, your faith grows. And once your faith grows, your results accelerate. And once your results accelerate, you become a believer, not because someone told you to, but because your own experience proved it to you. Now, let's talk about how to actually place your snake plant for maximum wealth activation, because the placement itself is a ritual, not just a practical task. You don't just walk into your bedroom, plop the plant down in the corner, and walk away. Well, you could do that, and it would still have some effect, because the plant itself carries the energy. But if you want to amplify the results, if you want to activate the full power of this practice, you need to approach it with intention, with ceremony, with respect for the energetic forces you're working with. So here's exactly what you're going to do, and I want you to pay close attention because the details matter. First, you need to get your snake plant. If you don't already have one, you need to go buy one as soon as possible. Don't wait. Don't put this off. Don't tell yourself you'll do it next week, when you have more time or more money. The plant doesn't have to be expensive. You can find snake plants at most garden centers, hardware stores, even grocery stores for anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on the size. And size doesn't matter as much as you might think. A small plant carries the same energetic frequency as a large one. What matters is that it's alive, healthy, and that you choose it with intention. When you're at the store looking at plants, don't just grab the first one you see. Take a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself which plant is calling to you. You might feel drawn to one that's taller, one that has darker leaves, one that just feels right. Trust that intuition. That's the universe guiding you to the plant that's meant to be your wealth guardian. Once you have your plant, before you even bring it into your home, I want you to do something that might feel a little silly, but is incredibly powerful. I want you to talk to it, hold the plant, look at it, and say out loud, "Thank you for choosing to be my abundance partner. I welcome you into my home and into my life. Together, we're going to create prosperity and wealth. I'm grateful for your energy and your presence." You don't have to use those exact words. Speak from your heart. The point is to establish a relationship with this plant, to acknowledge that it's not just a decoration, but a living being that you're inviting to co-create abundance with you. Plants respond to intention and energy. There have been studies showing that plants actually grow better when people talk to them, when they're given attention and care. So start your relationship with your wealth plant by acknowledging its role in your prosperity journey. When you bring the plant into your home, take it directly to your bedroom. Don't stop in the kitchen. Don't set it down in the living room temporarily. Take it straight to its permanent home in the far left corner of your bedroom when you're standing at the door looking in. Before you place it down, clean that corner. I'm serious. Move any furniture that's there. Vacuum or sweep the floor. Wipe down the walls if needed. You're creating a clean, energetic space for this plant to do its work. Clutter and dust carry stagnant energy, and you don't want your wealth plant trying to work through a layer of old, stuck energy. So clean the space first. Make it welcoming. Make it ready. Now, as you place the plant in that corner, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and visualize roots of golden light extending from the bottom of the plant pot, down through your floor, through the foundation of your home, deep into the earth below. See those roots connecting to the infinite abundance of the earth, drawing wealth energy up from the core of the planet itself. Then visualize the leaves of the plant glowing with green and gold light, reaching up toward the ceiling and beyond, connecting to the infinite abundance of the universe above. See your plant as a conduit, a channel, connecting earth and heaven, drawing prosperity from both directions and anchoring it right there in your bedroom corner. Hold that visualization for at least 30 seconds. Really see it. Really feel it. Then open your eyes, place your hand on the plant and say, "It is done. Wealth flows to me now. Abundance is my reality. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And here's something else that's going to amplify this practice exponentially. And I'm surprised more people don't talk about this. Once your plant is in place, you need to care for it with the same attention you want the universe to give your finances. Think about that. If you want money to flow to you abundantly, consistently, reliably, then you need to care for your wealth plant abundantly, consistently, reliably. Water it regularly, but don't overwater it. Snake plants actually prefer to dry out between waterings. They're like savings accounts. They hold on to their resources and use them wisely. Wipe the dust off the leaves every couple of weeks so they can breathe and photosynthesize properly. Rotate the pot occasionally so all sides get exposure to light. Talk to it. Thank it. Acknowledge it. Every time you care for that plant, you're reinforcing your commitment to your own abundance. You're demonstrating to the universe that you're ready to be a good steward of wealth. You're proving that you can be trusted with more. Let me tell you about Marcus from Dallas, Texas, because his experience perfectly illustrates the power of this practice when it's done with full commitment. Marcus was a truck driver, working long hours, making decent money but never able to get ahead. He lived paycheck to paycheck despite working 60 hours a week. He found this practice, got himself a snake plant, and placed it in the far left corner of his bedroom, exactly as I'm describing to you now. But Marcus went a step further. Every single morning before he left for work, he would spend 30 seconds with his plant. He'd touch the leaves, thank it for being his abundance partner, and visualize the plant pulling wealth energy into his home. Every evening when he came home, exhausted from driving all day, he'd spend another 30 seconds with the plant, reporting on any money he'd made that day, expressing gratitude for any opportunities that had appeared, basically treating the plant like a living manifestation journal. His girlfriend thought he was crazy. She'd make jokes about him talking to his plant. But Marcus didn't care. He felt the power of the practice. He felt something shifting inside him. Within 3 weeks, Marcus got a call from a company offering him a local route that would cut his hours from 60 a week to 40, while paying the same amount. That alone was a massive win. But it got better. The reduced hours gave him time to start a side business, detailing trucks, something he'd always wanted to do but never had time for. Within 6 months, his detailing business was making more money than his driving job. Within a year, he quit driving altogether and ran his detailing business full-time, making 3 times what he used to make as a driver. And every single day, he still spends time with that snake plant in his bedroom corner, thanking it, caring for it, acknowledging it as a partner in his prosperity. Marcus understands something that most people miss. Abundance isn't just about attracting money. It's about cultivating a relationship with wealth. It's about becoming someone who expects prosperity, who makes space for it, who welcomes it, who takes care of it when it arrives. Now, stay with me because what I'm about to share might be the most important piece of this entire practice, and if you miss this, you might do everything else right and still not get the results you're hoping for. The location of the plant matters. The way you place it matters. The care you give it matters. But none of that will work if your energy is in the wrong place. And by wrong place, I mean if you're doing this from a place of desperation, from a place of, I need money right now, or I'm going to lose everything. That energy of panic and fear actually repels wealth instead of attracting it. I know that's hard to hear, especially if you're in a tough financial situation right now. But the universe doesn't respond to need. It responds to frequency. And the frequency of desperation vibrates at a completely different level than the frequency of abundance. So, if you're struggling financially right now, if you're in a place where money stress is consuming you, I need you to take a breath and make a mental shift before you do this practice. Instead of thinking, I need this to work because I'm desperate, shift to thinking, I'm doing this as an act of faith. I'm trusting that the universe has my back. I'm planting a seed, and I'm going to water it with patience and trust. That shift from desperation to faith is what opens the door for abundance to flow. It's not easy to make that shift when you're scared. I get it, but it's necessary. And here's a technique that can help. Before you place your plant, before you do the visualization, sit down for 5 minutes and make a list of everything you're grateful for financially, no matter how small. Maybe you're grateful that you have a roof over your head, even if rent is tight. Maybe you're grateful that you have a job, even if it doesn't pay enough. Maybe you're grateful that you had food today, even if you didn't eat everything you wanted. Find things to be genuinely grateful for, because gratitude is the bridge from lack to abundance. When you can feel grateful for what you have, even if it's not much, you're vibrating at the frequency of abundance rather than the frequency of lack. And from that place, from that energy, your wealth plant can actually do its work. And if you've made it this far in this video, if you're still listening, if you're taking this seriously, then I need you to do me a favor. I need you to subscribe to this channel right now and turn on notifications, because what I'm sharing with you here is just the beginning. This isn't just a channel about plants or feng shui or manifestation tricks. This is about understanding how energy works, how the universe operates, how you can align yourself with the flow of abundance that's always available, but that most people never tap into. And if this video is resonating with you, there's so much more waiting for you here. We're building a community of people who understand that spirituality isn't separate from prosperity, that you can be deeply connected to source energy and wildly abundant financially, that seeking wealth with the right intention isn't greedy or shallow, but is actually part of your spiritual growth. So subscribe, turn on those notifications, and become part of this journey we're on together. Now let's talk about what happens after you place your snake plant in position, because this is where a lot of people get confused or impatient. You're not going to wake up the next morning to a pile of cash on your doorstep. That's not how this works. What's going to happen is much more subtle at first, but if you're paying attention, you'll notice it. You're going to start sleeping better. You're going to have more vivid dreams, and some of those dreams might be about abundance, success, opportunity. You're going to wake up feeling more energized, more optimistic, more certain that things are going to work out. These internal shifts are actually the first signs that the practice is working, because external abundance always follows internal alignment. You have to become abundant internally before you can experience abundance externally. After the internal shifts, you'll start noticing external synchronicities. You'll see money signs everywhere. Angel numbers like 111 or 888 showing up repeatedly. Conversations about abundance happening around you. Ads for financial opportunities catching your eye. These are all signs that your frequency is shifting, that you're starting to tune into the abundance channel. And then, usually within the first week to 3 weeks, you'll have your first tangible evidence. It might be small, finding $20 in an old coat pocket, getting a refund you forgot about, a friend buying you lunch, someone paying back a small loan. Don't dismiss these as insignificant. These small manifestations are the universe's way of saying, you're on the right track. Keep going. More is coming. Celebrate them. Acknowledge them. Thank your plant for them. Because when you celebrate the small wins, you're reinforcing the neural pathways of abundance, training your brain to expect more. And here's something powerful you can do to accelerate your results even further. Once your plant is in place and you're starting to see those first signs of shift, write yourself a check. I'm serious. Get a blank check or just a piece of paper that looks like a check and write it to yourself from the universe or source or whatever term resonates with you. Make it for an amount that feels exciting but believable to you. Maybe that's $1,000. Maybe it's $10,000. Maybe it's $100,000. Write the check, date it within the next 30 to 90 days, and place it under the pot of your snake plant. Now your plant isn't just attracting general abundance, it's working toward a specific financial goal. It's like giving your wealth antenna a precise frequency to tune into. And every time you water the plant, every time you care for it, you're energizing that intention. You're sending that frequency out into the universe. You're declaring that you're ready to receive that specific amount. Let me share one more story before we move into the next section, because I think this one is going to really help you understand the full scope of what's possible here. There's a woman named Jennifer from Phoenix, Arizona. Jennifer was a single mom with 2 kids, working as a dental hygienist, making just enough to get by, but with no savings, no financial cushion, living in constant low-level anxiety about money. She learned about this snake plant practice and decided to try it. She bought a small plant for $12, placed it in her bedroom corner, and wrote herself a check for $5,000, which felt like an almost impossible amount of money to her, but something she desperately needed to pay off credit card debt that was crushing her. She placed the check under the plant pot and committed to caring for the plant daily while visualizing that debt disappearing. 3 days later, her ex-husband, who hadn't paid child support in over a year, suddenly sent her a payment, $400. Small, but significant for Jennifer. 1 week later, her boss asked if she wanted to work 1 extra day a week at time-and-a-half pay. She said yes. 2 weeks in, she got a notification that she qualified for a tax credit she didn't know existed, $1,200 coming her way. 3 weeks in, a patient at the dental office mentioned that she ran a home organizing business and was looking for someone to help with administrative work a few hours a week. She offered Jennifer the position at $25 an hour. By week 5, Jennifer had received over $3,000 in unexpected income and opportunities. By week 8, she hit her $5,000 goal and paid off that credit card completely. But here's the most important part of Jennifer's story. The money didn't stop at $5,000. Once she reached that goal, once she proved to herself and the universe that she could manifest a specific financial target, the flow continued. She wrote herself another check, this time for $10,000, and within 4 months of placing that snake plant in her bedroom, Jennifer had manifested over $15,000 in additional income and debt relief. Her life completely transformed. Not because of magic, but because she aligned her energy, she activated her environment, and she took consistent action from a place of faith instead of fear. Now, before we continue, I want to check in with you because this is a co-creative process we're in right now. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your financial goal? What's the specific amount of money you want to manifest in the next 90 days? Don't be vague. Don't say, more money, or enough to be comfortable. Give me a specific number, because specificity is power in manifestation. The clearer you are about what you want, the easier it is for the universe to deliver it. So tell me in the comments, what's your number? And when you write it down, when you make it public like that, you're actually activating it on an energetic level. You're putting it out there. You're claiming it. You're saying to the universe and to yourself, this is what I'm creating. So go ahead, write your number in the comments right now. All right, now we need to talk about the other elements you can combine with your snake plant to create an even more powerful wealth attraction system in your bedroom. Because while the snake plant alone is incredibly effective, when you add certain other elements, you basically turn your bedroom into a manifestation power center. First, let's talk about the color of the pot your plant is in. If you bought your plant and it came in a basic plastic pot, that's fine for now. But if you want to upgrade, if you want to add another layer of wealth frequency to this practice, consider repotting your snake plant into a pot that's either gold, red, purple, or dark green. In feng shui and color therapy, these colors all carry prosperity energy. Gold is obvious. It's the color of wealth itself, of coins and treasure. Red represents luck, power, and the activation of energy. Purple represents luxury, abundance, and royal wealth. Dark green represents growth, money, and thriving life force. You don't have to go buy an expensive fancy pot. You could literally get a simple terracotta pot and paint it one of these colors. The point is to add visual cues that reinforce the wealth intention every time you look at the plant. Second, consider adding a small crystal or two to the soil of your plant. Citrine is known as the merchant stone and is one of the most powerful crystals for attracting wealth. Pyrite, also called fool's gold, carries a strong prosperity frequency. Green aventurine is considered the luckiest of all crystals for manifesting money. You can buy small tumbled stones of these crystals for just a few dollars and push them gently into the soil around your plant. Now your wealth corner has living plant energy combined with crystalline energy, both broadcasting abundance frequency. It's like adding amplifiers to your speakers. The message is the same, but it's louder, stronger, more powerful. Third, and this is something most people never think about, pay attention to what's on the wall above your snake plant. That corner shouldn't have pictures of sad things, images of struggle, or anything that carries heavy energy. Instead, if you want to hang something there, make it an image of abundance, a painting of a lush garden, a picture of a waterfall, which represents flow and prosperity, an image of gold coins or symbols of wealth, or simply leave the wall bare but paint it a prosperity color. The energy of that corner is being activated by your plant, so everything in that space contributes to the overall frequency. We're going to go even deeper in part 2, and I'm going to share advanced techniques for working with your snake plant, specific rituals you can do during certain moon phases to amplify your results, what to do if your plant starts to struggle or die, which actually has spiritual meaning, and powerful affirmations you can speak to your plant that will accelerate your manifestation timeline. But before we get there, I need you to make a commitment. Are you actually going to do this? Are you going to get a snake plant and place it in your bedroom corner? Or are you going to just think it's interesting information and never take action? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can know everything there is to know about wealth attraction, but if you don't apply it, nothing changes. So, decide right now. Commit right now. Tell yourself, yes, I'm doing this. I'm getting my plant and I'm activating my wealth corner. And once you make that commitment, the universe starts moving to support you. Doors open, opportunities appear, resources show up, but you have to make the commitment first. get your snake plant ready. Choose its location in your bedroom, and let's continue this journey together into part 2, where I'm going to reveal the timing secrets that make this practice work even faster, the mistakes that block people's results, and the advanced wealth rituals that take this from good to extraordinary. Your abundance is waiting, your plant is calling, and your prosperous future is about to unfold in ways you can't even imagine yet. Part 2. Welcome back, and I'm so glad you're here for part 2, because what we're about to explore is going to take everything you learned about the snake plant wealth practice and amplify it to a level that most people never reach. If part 1 was about understanding the foundation and the basic placement, part 2 is about mastering the practice, about working with lunar cycles and energy flows, about troubleshooting problems, and about creating a complete wealth ecosystem in your home that doesn't just attract money once, but creates a sustained, ongoing flow of abundance that becomes your new normal. And I'm not going to waste any time because your transformation is too important. So let's dive right in. The first thing I want to talk about is timing, because when you place your snake plant, matters almost as much as where you place it. Now, you can place your plant any day, and it will still work. The basic practice is powerful, regardless of timing. But if you want to supercharge your results, if you want to activate the wealth frequency at maximum intensity, there are specific times that are more potent than others. The most powerful time to place your wealth plant is during a new moon, especially a new moon that falls in an earth sign like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. The new moon represents new beginnings, fresh starts, the planting of seeds that will grow over the coming lunar cycle. When you place your snake plant during a new moon, you're aligning with that energy of initiation. You're telling the universe, this is the beginning of my abundant life. This is day 1 of my new financial reality. And the universe, which operates on cycles and rhythms, responds powerfully to that alignment. If you can't wait for a new moon, the second best time is on a Thursday, which is governed by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, luck, and prosperity. Thursday carries a naturally abundant frequency, so any wealth work you do on that day gets amplified. And if you can combine both, if you can place your plant on a Thursday that falls during a new moon, especially in an earth sign, you've basically hit the manifestation lottery in terms of timing. But again, don't let perfect timing stop you from taking action. If today is a Tuesday and there won't be a new moon for 2 weeks, place your plant today. The best time to start is always now, because a plant in your wealth corner today is infinitely more powerful than a plant you're going to buy someday. Now let's talk about what to do once your plant is in position and you're starting to work with it daily. I mentioned in part 1 that you should talk to your plant, care for it, treat it like a partner in your prosperity journey. But let me give you specific techniques that will deepen that relationship and accelerate your results. Every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you do anything else, I want you to sit up in bed, look at your snake plant in that far corner, and speak to it. You can say something like, "Good morning, my abundant friend. Thank you for working with me to attract wealth. Today I'm open to receiving prosperity in expected and unexpected ways. Thank you for being my guardian and my magnet." Just a few sentences, spoken out loud. This practice does several things simultaneously. First, it's making abundance the first thought of your day, which sets the tone for your entire waking experience. Second, it's activating the relationship between you and the plant, strengthening the energetic bond. Third, it's programming your subconscious mind with the expectation of receiving. And fourth, it's expressing gratitude before the evidence shows up, which is the highest form of manifestation faith. In the evening, before you go to sleep, do a similar practice but with a different focus. Look at your plant and report on your day. Tell it about any money that came to you, no matter how small. Tell it about opportunities that appeared. Tell it about positive financial conversations you had. Thank it for its work. You might feel silly doing this at first, especially if you have a partner who's watching you talk to a plant. But I promise you, this practice is transformative. You're essentially creating a daily manifestation journal, but instead of writing it down, you're speaking it to a living being that's holding the frequency of wealth in your space. And there's something about speaking your manifestation progress out loud that makes it more real, more tangible, more undeniable. Now, here's an advanced technique that I've only shared with my private clients before, but I'm going to share it with you now because I feel like this community is ready for it. Once a week, preferably on a Thursday or during a waxing moon, when the moon is growing from new to full, I want you to do what I call a prosperity feeding for your plant. Here's how it works. You're going to water your plant, but before you pour the water, you're going to hold the water container in your hands, close your eyes, and visualize golden light pouring from your hands into the water. See the water glowing, shimmering with prosperity energy. Then speak into the water. Say something like, "This water carries the frequency of abundance. As my plant drinks this water, it grows stronger in its ability to attract wealth to me. This water is infused with prosperity, and it nourishes both this plant and my financial reality." Then water your plant as usual. What you've just done is created charged water, programmed with intention, and you've fed that intention directly to your wealth plant. The plant absorbs the water and the intention, and it radiates both back into your space and into your energy field. You can amplify this even further by adding a tiny pinch of cinnamon to the water once a month. Cinnamon is one of the most powerful herbs for attracting money. It's been used in prosperity magic for thousands of years across multiple cultures. Just a tiny pinch mixed into the water before you charge it with your intention. The cinnamon adds another layer of wealth frequency to your practice. Your plant gets fed. The cinnamon activates. Your intention programs it all. And the combination creates a manifestation amplifier that's working for you 24/7. Let me tell you about Brian from Seattle, Washington, who used this prosperity feeding technique with incredible results. Brian was a software developer making good money but drowning in student loan debt. He placed his snake plant in his bedroom corner and started the daily morning and evening practice. But he really went all in with the weekly prosperity feeding. Every Thursday evening he would prepare his charged water with cinnamon, speak his intentions into it, and water his plant while visualizing his debt disappearing. He did this consistently for 12 weeks. During that time, he got a promotion with a $15,000 raise. He found a debt consolidation program that lowered his interest rate significantly. A relative he barely knew passed away and left him a small inheritance of $8,000, and his company started a student loan repayment assistance program that would pay $5,000 a year toward employee loans. In 12 weeks, Brian went from owing $85,000 in student loans to having a clear path to being debt-free in 3 years instead of 15, all while feeding his plant charged cinnamon water and speaking his intentions every single week. Now, I know some of you are wondering, what happens if your plant starts to look unhealthy? What if the leaves turn yellow or brown? What if the plant seems to be dying? Does that mean your manifestation is blocked? And this is a really important question, because the health of your wealth plant can actually give you feedback about your energetic state and your manifestation practice. If your plant is thriving, growing new shoots, looking vibrant and strong, that's a sign that your wealth energy is flowing well. Things are moving in the right direction. Keep doing what you're doing, but if your plant starts to struggle, it's usually telling you something needs attention. Yellow or brown leaves often mean you're overwatering, which spiritually represents trying too hard, forcing outcomes, being attached to results instead of trusting the process. If you see this, cut back on watering and emotionally cut back on the desperation energy. Surrender more, trust more. Let go of the need to control how and when your abundance arrives. Drooping leaves usually mean the plant needs more water, which spiritually represents that you're not nurturing your manifestation practice enough. You might have placed the plant and forgotten about it. You might have stopped doing your daily practice. The plant is showing you that your wealth frequency needs more attention, more care, more consistency. If your plant gets pests or disease, it's often a sign that there's negative energy in your space or in your life that needs to be cleared. Maybe you're surrounding yourself with toxic people, Maybe you're consuming negative media. Maybe there's unresolved conflict in your home. The plant is showing you that your energetic environment needs cleaning. And here's what to do if your plant actually dies despite your best efforts to care for it. First, don't panic. Don't take it as a sign that you're cursed or that manifestation doesn't work for you. Sometimes a plant dies because it has absorbed negative energy from your space, essentially sacrificing itself to clear blocks from your wealth path. In many spiritual traditions, this is seen as the plant taking on your energetic burden so you don't have to carry it anymore. If your snake plant dies, thank it for its service. Don't throw it away carelessly. Take it outside, return it to the earth, and speak gratitude over it. Tell it thank you for the work it did. Then get a new plant. Start fresh and pay attention to what was going on in your life when the first plant died, because that's usually when a major energetic block was being cleared. The new plant gets to work with you in a cleaner, clearer space. Lisa from Minneapolis, Minnesota, had this exact experience. She placed her snake plant in her bedroom corner and things were going well for about 6 weeks. She'd received several $100s in unexpected money, small wins that were building her faith. But then the plant started turning yellow, and within 2 weeks, it was completely dead, despite her efforts to save it. Lisa was devastated. She thought she'd done something wrong. But about 3 days after the plant died, Lisa got news that a toxic coworker who had been making her work life miserable was transferring to a different department. The following week, Lisa's boss approached her about a project that came with a $5,000 bonus. Lisa realized that the plant had died right when that major workplace block was being removed from her life. She got a new plant, placed it in the same corner, and within 3 months, she got promoted to a position she'd been wanting for years, complete with a $20,000 salary increase. The first plant cleared the path. The second plant maintained the flow. Now, if this is making sense, if you're understanding the deeper layers of how this practice works, I want you to share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Think about someone in your life who's struggling with money, who's stressed about finances, who could benefit from this simple but powerful practice. Send them this video, because when you share abundance wisdom, you're actually strengthening your own abundance frequency. You're declaring to the universe that you have so much you can give it away. And that energy of overflow attracts more overflow. So take a second right now and share this video with at least one person. Tag them in the comments. Send them the link. Help them start their own wealth plant practice. When we rise together, everyone benefits. Let's talk about combining your snake plant with other feng shui and manifestation practices to create what I call a wealth ecosystem in your home. Your snake plant in the bedroom corner is the anchor, the primary wealth attractor. But there are other things you can do throughout your home to support and amplify that energy. First, make sure your front door area is clean, uncluttered, and welcoming. In feng shui, the front door is called the mouth of qi, the place where energy enters your home. If that area is blocked with shoes, coats, junk mail, and clutter, energy can't flow in freely. Spend an hour cleaning and organizing your entryway. Make it beautiful. Add a plant near the front door if possible. Maybe a jade plant or a money tree, both of which are also wealth attractors. The energy that flows in through your front door will eventually make its way to your bedroom, where your snake plant is waiting to amplify it. Second, pay attention to your kitchen, especially your stove. In many traditions, the stove represents the wealth of the household because it's where food is prepared, and food is a form of abundance. Make sure all the burners on your stove work. If one is broken, fix it. That broken burner represents blocked income streams. Keep your stove clean. A dirty stove suggests neglect of your wealth. And here's a simple ritual. Once a week, use all the burners on your stove. Even if you're not cooking much, just turn them all on for a minute. This activates all your income streams energetically. While they're on, say out loud, "All sources of income are flowing to me now. Money comes to me from multiple directions. I am open and ready to receive." Then turn them off. Simple but surprisingly effective. Third, look at your bathroom, particularly the toilet. I know this sounds weird, but in feng shui, toilets and drains represent money leaving your home. Every time you flush, you're symbolically flushing away resources. Now, you obviously can't stop using your bathroom, but you can minimize the energetic drain by keeping the toilet lid closed when not in use, keeping bathroom doors closed, and placing a small mirror on the outside of the bathroom door to reflect energy back into the rest of the house, rather than letting it drain away. These are small adjustments, but they plug energetic leaks in your home's wealth container. Fourth, examine your bedroom more closely, beyond just the snake plant corner. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary, a place of rest and rejuvenation, because the quality of your sleep directly affects your manifestation ability. Remove any clutter from under your bed. Energy needs to circulate around and beneath you while you sleep. Get rid of anything broken, anything you don't love, anything that doesn't support the life you're creating. Consider the colors in your bedroom. Earth tones like browns, beiges, greens, and terracotta support grounding and growth. Touch of gold or purple accent wealth energy. Avoid too much red as in the bedroom, as it's overstimulating. Make I'll complete Part 2 for you, continuing from where it was cut off. Part 2, continued. Make your bedroom a space that supports your highest frequency, because that's where your snake plant is doing its most powerful work, and you want the entire room to support that energy, rather than contradict it. Now, let's talk about affirmations you can speak to your snake plant that will dramatically accelerate your manifestation timeline. Affirmations work because they reprogram your subconscious mind, and when you speak them to your plant while touching it, you're creating a physical anchor for that programming. The plant holds the frequency of your words, radiates it back to you while you sleep, and creates a feedback loop that strengthens with every repetition. Here are 5 powerful affirmations you can use. Stand in front of your plant, place your hand on its leaves or pot, and speak these words with conviction, feeling them in your body as you say them. First, money flows to me easily and abundantly from multiple sources. Feel the truth of that statement. See money coming to you from your job, from side income, from unexpected sources, from gifts, from opportunities you haven't even imagined yet. Second, I am a magnet for prosperity, and wealth chooses me. Feel yourself as magnetic, irresistible to abundance, someone that money wants to flow toward. Third, my income increases consistently, and I always have more than enough. Notice the certainty in that statement. Not hoping, not wishing, but declaring. Fourth, I manage money wisely, and it multiplies under my care. This one is important because it's not just about attracting money, but also about keeping it, growing it, being a good steward of wealth. Fifth, the universe supports my financial success in seen and unseen ways. This acknowledges that abundance comes through channels you can track and channels you can't, and you're open to both. Speak these 5 affirmations to your plant at least 3 times a week, preferably right before bed, so they saturate your subconscious while you sleep. And here's an advanced technique. As you speak each affirmation, visualize golden light flowing from your heart, through your arm, through your hand, and into the plant. See the plant glowing brighter with each affirmation. You're not just speaking words, you're transferring energy. You're programming both the plant and yourself simultaneously. And that combined programming creates manifestation momentum that builds exponentially over time. There's a woman named Sandra from Boston, Massachusetts, who took this affirmation practice to an incredible level. Sandra was a high school teacher, underpaid and underappreciated, barely making $40,000 a year in one of the most expensive cities in the country. She was exhausted, burnt out, and seriously considering leaving teaching altogether. She got her snake plant, placed it in her bedroom corner, and committed to speaking affirmations to it every single night before bed. She would stand there, hand on the plant, and speak all 5 affirmations, plus a few of her own creation with absolute conviction. At first, she didn't believe what she was saying. The words felt hollow. But she'd made a commitment to do it for at least 30 days, so she kept going. Around day 12, something shifted. The affirmations started to feel true. She started to believe them. Her energy changed. She walked into school differently. She spoke to her students differently. She carried herself with more confidence and certainty. 2 weeks later, the principal approached her about leading a new STEM initiative at the school, which came with a $5,000 stipend. 3 weeks in, she got an email from an online education company asking if she'd be interested in creating curriculum content for them. The pay? $100 per hour for freelance work she could do from home. 4 weeks in, she was approached by a local tutoring center about teaching SAT prep classes on weekends at $60 per hour. Within 2 months of starting her affirmation practice with her snake plant, Sandra had gone from $40,000 a year to projecting over $70,000 with all her additional income streams. But more importantly, she felt different. She felt valuable. She felt abundant. She felt like someone who deserved prosperity. And that internal transformation was the real magic that made everything else possible. Now, before we go further, I want you to engage with this content in a specific way because it's going to lock in your commitment and activate your manifestation on a deeper level. Go to the comments right now and write, "I am ready to receive abundance." Just that simple sentence. When you write it publicly, when you declare it where others can see it, you're making a statement to the universe and to your own subconscious that you're serious about this. You're not just passively watching a video. You're actively participating in your transformation. So go ahead, write it in the comments. I am ready to receive abundance, and watch what starts to shift in your life over the next few days. Let's talk about what happens during the full moon, because this is a powerful time to work with your snake plant in a completely different way than during the new moon. While the new moon is for setting intentions and planting seeds, the full moon is for gratitude, celebration, and release. On the night of a full moon, I want you to do a special ritual with your plant. First, if possible, place your plant near a window where it can absorb moonlight. The full moon's energy is incredibly powerful for charging objects and clearing energy. Let your plant sit in that moonlight for at least an hour. While it's there, write down everything you're grateful for financially, no matter how small. Every dollar you earned that month, every bill you were able to pay, every unexpected blessing, every opportunity that appeared. Fill at least one full page with financial gratitude. Then write down everything you're ready to release. Financial fears, limiting beliefs about money, debt that's weighing on you, scarcity mindset, worry about the future. Get it all out on paper. Take the gratitude list and place it under your plant's pot, replacing the check you might have had there before, or adding to it. This gratitude list is now being energized by your plant, continuously, attracting more things to be grateful for. Take the release list and safely burn it, either in a fireplace, a fire-safe container, or even just over a candle flame if you can only burn small pieces at a time. As you watch the smoke rise, visualize all those blocks and fears dissolving, being transformed by fire, leaving your energy field forever. Say out loud, I release all that blocks my prosperity. I am free to receive unlimited abundance. Then, return to your plant, place your hands on it, and thank it for being your partner in this journey. Thank the full moon for its clearing energy. Thank the universe for supporting your wealth. This full moon ritual, done once a month, is like giving your manifestation practice a reset and recharge. It clears out any accumulated doubt or fear and reinforces your gratitude and faith. Michael from Austin, Texas, credits the full moon ritual with his breakthrough manifestation. Michael had been working with his snake plant for about 6 weeks and had seen some small results, a few $100s here and there, but nothing major. He was starting to get impatient, starting to doubt whether this really worked or if he was just experiencing coincidences. Then he learned about the full moon ritual and decided to try it. He wrote his gratitude list, and even though he was frustrated about not seeing bigger results, he forced himself to find things to be grateful for. He wrote his release list, and he was shocked by how much fear and doubt he was carrying. Pages and pages of limiting beliefs he didn't even realize he had. He burned that release list and felt something break open in his chest, a weight he'd been carrying for so long that he'd forgotten it was there. 3 days after that full moon ritual, Michael got a call from a company he'd interviewed with. 2 months earlier and assumed had gone with another candidate. They wanted to offer him the position. The salary was $95,000, almost double what he was currently making. But it wasn't just the job offer. Michael felt different. He felt lighter. He felt certain. He felt like someone who deserved abundance. And that shift, that energetic transformation, was worth more than the money because it meant he could continue creating abundance for the rest of his life. Now let's address something that comes up a lot, and that's what to do if you live with other people who aren't supportive of your manifestation practice. Maybe you have a partner who thinks this is all nonsense. Maybe you have roommates who would make fun of you for talking to a plant. Maybe you have kids who might mess with your wealth corner. First, understand that you don't need anyone's permission or approval to practice prosperity consciousness. This is your life, your finances, your energy. You get to do what feels right for you. Second, you don't have to announce what you're doing or explain the spiritual significance of your plant. It's just a decorative plant in your bedroom. That's all anyone else needs to know. You can do your morning and evening practices silently if needed, just thinking the words instead of speaking them out loud. The intention is what matters most, not the volume. Third, if you have a partner or family members who are open to it, invite them to participate with you. Make it a shared practice. Your snake plant can work for the whole household's prosperity, not just yours. You could do the affirmations together, care for the plant together, celebrate manifestations together. When a whole household is aligned on abundance frequency, the results accelerate exponentially because you're creating a unified field of prosperity consciousness. But if that's not possible, if you're on this journey alone, that's okay too. Some of the most powerful manifestations I've witnessed have come from people who did this practice in secret, who quietly aligned their energy while everyone around them was oblivious, and then shocked everyone when their financial reality transformed seemingly overnight. There's a man named Robert from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, whose story perfectly illustrates this. Robert lived with his elderly mother who was very traditional and would have thought this was foolishness or even sinful. So Robert got his snake plant and placed it in his bedroom without any explanation. He just said he wanted to add some life to his space. Every morning and evening, while his mother was watching TV in the living room, Robert would close his bedroom door and do his practice quietly, touching his plant, speaking his affirmations in a whisper, visualizing his abundance. His mother had no idea. For 8 weeks, Robert did this practice in complete secrecy. During that time, he got a promotion at work with a $12,000 raise. He won $500 on a lottery scratch-off ticket he'd bought on impulse. A stock he'd invested in years ago and forgotten about suddenly tripled in value, giving him a $40,000 windfall. When Robert's mother saw his financial situation improving so dramatically, she asked him what was different, what he was doing. Robert decided to tell her the truth. He showed her his snake plant. He explained the practice. He expected her to dismiss it, but instead she asked him to get her a plant too. She wanted to try it herself. Within a month of placing her own snake plant in her bedroom corner, Robert's mother received notification that she qualified for a pension benefit she didn't know existed, giving her an extra $600 a month for the rest of her life. Robert and his mother now both have snake plants in their bedrooms, and they compare notes about their manifestations over breakfast. What started as a secret practice became a shared family tradition of prosperity consciousness. Now, as we're moving toward the conclusion of this transmission, I want to share with you the biggest secret that makes this entire practice work at the highest level. And this is what separates people who see small results from people who see life-changing results. The secret is this: your snake plant isn't creating your abundance. You are. The plant is a tool, a focus point, a physical anchor for your intention and your faith. But the real power is in you. You are the creator. You are the manifester. You are the one who shifts energy and collapses possibility into reality. The snake plant is like training wheels on a bicycle. It supports you while you're learning to balance, while you're developing your manifestation muscles, while you're building your faith. But ultimately, you're the one doing the riding. And once you really understand that, once you own your power as a creator, you don't need the plant anymore. Although you'll probably keep it anyway because you'll love it, because it will have become a cherished partner in your journey. Because why would you get rid of something that works so well? But here's what I want you to understand in your bones. The prosperity you're about to experience isn't because a plant is magically making money appear. It's because the plant is helping you remember who you really are. You are an infinite being having a temporary human experience. You are made of the same creative force that makes galaxies and grows forests and fills oceans. Abundance is your nature. Prosperity is your birthright. Wealth is your natural state. You've just forgotten that because you've been programmed to believe in lack, in limitation, in not enough. And this snake plant practice is one pathway, one method, one tool for breaking that programming and returning to the truth of your abundant nature. There are many other pathways, many other methods, many other tools, but this one works because it's simple, tangible, and accessible to anyone, regardless of their spiritual experiences or financial situation. So as you place your snake plant in your wealth corner, as you care for it and speak to it and work with it over the coming weeks and months, remember that you're not doing this because you're powerless and need help from a plant. You're doing this because you're choosing to use every available tool to align yourself with the abundance that's already yours. You're being smart. You're being strategic. You're being intentional about creating the life you want. And that level of consciousness, that level of commitment, that level of taking responsibility for your own reality, that's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes your manifestations inevitable. That's what transforms you from someone who hopes for abundance into someone who expects it, who embodies it, who lives it. And now, I want to close all the loops I opened in this transmission and bring everything full circle. We talked about the specific location for your snake plant, the far left corner of your bedroom when standing at the door looking in. We talked about the timing, new moon or Thursday, for maximum power, but any day works. We talked about the care, watering with intention, speaking affirmations, doing morning and evening practices. We talked about amplification, adding crystals, choosing the right pot color, combining with full moon rituals. We talked about troubleshooting, understanding what it means when your plant struggles or dies. We talked about the bigger picture, creating a wealth ecosystem throughout your home, protecting your energy, owning your power as the creator of your reality. All of these pieces work together synergistically to create a manifestation practice that's practical, powerful, and proven by countless people who've transformed their financial lives using these exact principles. But more than any technique or ritual or timing consideration, what matters most is your faith, your trust, your willingness to believe that things can be different, that your financial situation is not permanent, that abundance is available to you right now. Because without faith, all the snake plants in the world won't help you. But with faith, even a small plant in the corner of your room can become the catalyst for a complete financial transformation. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and your desired reality. Faith is what allows you to take action even when you can't see the results yet. Faith is what keeps you consistent even when doubt whispers that this won't work. Faith is what opens the door for miracles to enter your life. And if you're here right now, if you've listened to this entire transmission, if you're still with me, then you have faith. Maybe it's small, maybe it's fragile, maybe it's mixed with doubt and fear, but it's there, and that's enough. That's all the universe needs to start working with you. So here's what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. Get your snake plant, place it in your bedroom corner with intention and ceremony. Do the visualization of roots going down and leaves going up. Speak your first affirmations to it. Commit to the morning and evening practices for at least 30 days, and then watch what happens. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Notice the opportunities. Celebrate the small wins. Trust the process. And if you want to share your journey with this community, drop a comment below telling us when you place your plant, and then come back in a week, 2 weeks, a month, and update us on what's manifested. Because your success story isn't just for you. It's inspiration for everyone else who's on this journey. When you share your wins, you give others hope. You show them what's possible. You contribute to the collective rising of consciousness and abundance. So commit to sharing your journey with us. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it right now because we're just getting started. The next video I'm creating is going to be about the Money Bowl Ritual, an ancient practice for attracting specific amounts of cash quickly. After that, we're going to talk about mirror manifestation techniques that work while you sleep. Then we're diving into color therapy for wealth, sound frequencies that attract abundance, and ancient prosperity practices from cultures around the world. This channel is your hub for practical spirituality that produces real results. No fluff, no theory. Just practices that work, explained in ways that make sense, delivered with love and support from a community of people who understand that seeking wealth with pure intention is a spiritual practice, not a shallow pursuit. So subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's walk this path together. Let's create a world where spiritual people are also prosperous people, where conscious individuals have the resources to make a real difference, where abundance flows freely to those who are committed to using it for good. You are that person. You are ready, you are worthy, and your snake plant is waiting to partner with you in creating the abundant life you deserve. Before I leave you, let me offer you one final piece of wisdom that I hope stays with you long after this video ends. Abundance is not a destination you arrive at. It's a frequency you embody. It's not something you achieve once and then you're done. It's a way of being that you practice daily. Your snake plant is a beautiful reminder of that truth. Every day, it's growing, reaching, living, adapting. It doesn't grow once and stop. It doesn't reach toward the light one time and declare itself done. It continues persistently, consistently, faithfully. And that's what you're being called to do. To continue, to persist, to stay consistent, to keep faith, not just for 30 days or until you manifest your first big win, but as a way of life. Because once you taste true abundance, once you experience what it feels like to live in flow with prosperity, once you realize that you really can create your reality, you won't want to go back to the old way of struggle and lack. You'll want to stay in this frequency forever. And your snake plant, standing guard in your wealth corner, will be there reminding you every single day of the commitment you made to yourself and to your abundant future. So go now, get your plant, place it with love, care for it with intention, and let the transformation begin. Your prosperity is not coming. It's already here. You just needed a little green guardian to help you see it, to help you claim it, to help you live it fully. Welcome to your abundant life. Welcome to your wealthy reality. Welcome home to the prosperity that was always yours. I'll see you in the next video, where we're going deeper into ancient money manifestation secrets that will blow your mind. Until then, protect your energy, trust the process, and watch for the magic that's about to unfold in your life. You've got this. I believe in you. The universe believes in you. And now, with your snake plant by your side, you're unstoppable.